It's going to be crazy. We won't be able to get to those other two, but being in the Tennessee Valley and being located in northern Alabama, we can't really avoid this topic.
Being both Bama
And
fans.
both being Alabama fans for sure. So, with that being said, we'll get started. Nick Saban announced his retirement to the team and the public with an official statement on Wednesday. Nick Saban has been the head coach at Alabama for 17 seasons, where he won 6 national championships, 11 SEC titles, and 201 games as the head coach of Alabama, and countless other accolades to go with that. Saban, according to Chris Lowe, was insistent on telling his players first that he was retiring before it got out publicly, and did so Wednesday in a 4 p.m. Central Time meeting. Sources told ESPN a regular team meeting had already been scheduled for Tuesday, but was rescheduled for Wednesday when some players weren't able to make it back in time because of weather issues. Saban and his wife Terry spent the long weekend at their home in Florida before returning to Tuscaloosa on Monday. Saban spoke to the players and staff in the team room for about 15 minutes, informing them that he was retiring. He then told them that Byrne wanted to talk with him. Saban left the room while Byrne was speaking and talked to his staff some more afterward. Sources told Lowe that Saban had grown increasingly frustrated with what college football had turned into. He's all about team and building a team and developing players, and now the only thing that seems to matter is who can get what in the NIL and who can get the biggest deal. So with that, Nick Saban's now out as the head coach of Alabama. Alabama will now have to look for the replacement of one of the greatest to ever do it, Austin. So your reaction?
Yeah, no, I was actually like not even 5 minutes. I was down. I had just woken up and I went downstairs, got me something to eat. Just enjoying. Finally had a day off, so just trying to enjoy that, get some sleep and all. And I had gone back upstairs to lay down, and my phone goes off. I'm like, who the heck is calling me? And I look at it, and it's you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, why on earth is Noah calling me?
Mm-hmm.
And all. And as I'm about to answer it, I briefly see go across my phone. Hayden had texted the group chat leaking it that Saban was retiring. I was, oh no, I better answer this. And so that's when I picked it up. And yeah, it sucks losing such not only amazing head coach that has accomplished so much, but just an amazing person individually. Just builds guys of character in the community with life after football. I mean, does a fantastic job of that. As a football aspect,
Mm-hmm.
I I mean, I really firmly believe, like I told you yesterday, um, he really didn't leave the cabinet dry. So
No.
I really don't know. It's like I said last night when we were hanging out last night at church talking and all, and we had some friends asking me what I thought about it. You really won't see the effects of him retiring for another like maybe 4 years, three,
Mm-hmm.
4 years down the road, just because of he really didn't leave the cabinet dry, and it's more than likely looking like Dan Lanning is going to be the next guy. At least that's who we're going after. It seems like,
Yeah.
and also, I mean, I think Alabama football will. It might not be the dominant where we win a national championship about every year, but it's still going to be where we're competing for a SEC championship and a national championship for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Austin. Definitely a difficult time in Tuscaloosa. Caught me by surprise. I know a lot of Alabama fans, and I think people around the state. I think a lot of Auburn fans. Some of them are reflecting on this moment. I think a lot of people is going to remember where they were when they heard Saban retired.
Yeah, some people are taking toilet paper and throwing it into a tree.
Yeah, but
Stupid.
I think there are some Auburn fans that are sensible enough to. I think a lot of people around the state got emotional. I mean, we all kind of grew up, or a lot of us, especially me and mine and your age, grew up during the Saban era. We grew up with this ascent of the Crimson Tide and the Alabama dynasty that Nick Saban built. He's one of a kind. I mean, we got to remember he hasn't passed away. See, there's been extremes from both sides. We've seen Auburn throw toilet paper over the trees at Toomer's Corner. We've seen Alabama fans put Little Debbie cookies and pizzas and flowers at the Nick Saban statue in Tuscaloosa outside Bryant-Denny Stadium. Nick Saban hasn't died yet, believe it or not. I don't know. It's like we've kind of written a little bit of a eulogy, and writing this show, it felt like I was kind of writing a eulogy. But Saban hasn't passed away. He's still alive. He just retired. But it is a sad day for the state of Alabama for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And I wish I could take credit for this, but sadly, I'm not the one who came up with it. As we were, putting graphics in and getting ready to start the show, we had SEC channel on the big screen, and we still have it on the big screen in case news breaks of hiring, as the rumor, at least, is that Greg Byrne, during that meeting with the players, told them 72 hours is they're going to make a hire within 72 hours. So we have the big screen on in case something happens. But no, they had Reese Davis on, and he paraphrased. I'm going to paraphrase what he said. Was talking about when he was at LSU. First, I'm going to say this: with when Bear Bryant retired, Alabama just never was the same after that, and a lot of Bama fans are going to allude to that. But also, LSU was a crap show before Saban got there, and he won the national championship and then left. Buddy, I'm pretty sure they've won 3 national championships since then. I'm pretty sure the guy they hired right after him won 2. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought Les won 2. He won 1? Okay. 07? Okay, I thought 1, 2. Okay. And so, well, he won 1. All right. And then the guy after that, what did he do? He won 1. I mean, granted, caught lightning in the bottle, got a little lucky, but that's how you need to be sometimes in college football. You need to have a little luck go your way. But I mean, the dude didn't leave the cabinet dry. That's for sure. I think whoever it is, if it is Dan Lanning or if it is Steve Sarkisian, I saw this little clip this morning. I agree with this guy 100%. It was last night. They had a ton of students out there at the Walk of Champions next to the Nick Saban statue, and it was some guy was getting in the crowd to start chanting anybody but Dabo. And I agree with that. You basically hire anybody but Dabo, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Alabama did go through some difficult years. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I think a lot of people think that Alabama just went into these dark ages right after Bear Bryant retired. Alabama has some successful years under Ray Perkins, and then Gene Stallings followed with that up with a national championship 9 years after Bear Bryant's retirement in 1992 with that Sugar Bowl victory against Miami. Now, after Gene Stallings retired is when Alabama went through the dark ages, starting with Mike Dubose, and then you had Franchione, and then you had Mike Price for 3 months, and Mike Shula's. All the Mikes were disastrous. With that being said, it's a different time, and I think Saban, the college football is a really big sport. It's probably it is undoubtedly the second most popular sport in America behind the National Football League. So college football is probably the second most popular sport, and there's no really probably to it. If you look at the TV ratings, college football is the second most popular sport in America. And with that being said, Saban has built a program. He's built a dynasty at Alabama, and that he leaves behind a program that a lot of people are going to want that coaching job. It's going to attract the biggest names, the biggest
It
fish in
is.
the pond.
Yeah, I think it was my dad I was talking to. We were at dinner last night before church, and we were talking as we're eating dinner, and I said, I told him basically what you and I had talked about, how, basically this is not like it was back when Bear Bryant retired.
Yeah, I mean, it was
This
a
is
different era back then.
one, different era of football. Two, Bama wasn't the name brand back then that it is now.
College football wasn't the sport that it is now.
Yeah, that too. And I told Dad, I said, basically anybody but Kirby Smart is available. I think will listen to us. He's about the only one that's not going to listen to us.
Yeah, I agree.
Anybody else, I think, is fair game and is a possible hire.
Yeah.
But Dad said, no, I don't know about that, because who wants to come, after Nick Saban and coach? But also, I wish I could take credit for this. But no, Reese Davis said just the competitiveness of coaches nowadays, they're going to want that.
Yeah.
They're going to be intrigued, because I don't know what head coach that's not, competitive and up to the challenge. And if they're not, they're probably in the wrong line of work. They need to go probably else, find a new job doing something else if they ain't competitive in college football. But no, it's definitely a name brand that's intriguing. And like I said, I think anybody but Kirby Smart is definitely available for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think there's going to be a list of candidates, and we'll discuss that later in the show. But I think, as you said, outside of Kirby, I think everyone will listen to us. And I feel like people like Sarkisian probably got the first call, but I think there's everybody's on the table. Now, there will be some that I would assume will probably turn it down. I mean,
like a Steve Sarkisian.
Maybe even Ryan Day, if we called Ryan Day. Who knows? I know a lot of people's talking about Dan Lanning, but it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that
it wouldn't shock me if he
wants
to stay at Oregon. Yeah, I don't think he will. I think obviously that's I'm sure y'all have heard the rumors of us that's the guy we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
It has been rumored that is the guy that we're looking at. I think if that is true and we are really trying to get Dan Lanning, I don't think he. I think he would come to Alabama. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, what Saban has done for the program and for the University of Alabama has been incredible. I was shocked to hear the announcement. I was about it was about 2 hours before church was going to start. I was going to take a quick nap, rest up and freshen up, and then I was just scrolling through Twitter real quick, and I saw like 5 minutes. It was breaking news. 5 minutes. Nick Saban retired. I was like, oh, man, I'm going to have to make a post on the Tennessee Valley Sports Network, and I don't feel like doing that. And it took a while. I think it was an hour after, maybe 40 minutes to an hour after Saban announced his retirement, that we finally posted that on our social media. Because me, as an Alabama fan, I try to be neutral when discussing on the show and when calling games and stuff. And I do my best calling games, but especially on the show, I do try to be neutral. But with all that being said, it really broke my heart. I mean, I didn't necessarily cry, but I did get a little emotional just thinking about, because I mean, I spent my childhood watching Alabama football and watching it under Nick Saban.
Oh yeah.
And just the amount of memories. My papa, he was a big part of my life, and he passed away about 2 years ago. But I remember my main childhood memories, some of the ones that I deem the most valuable in my life, always revolve around sitting on the couch next to him in the recliner, watching those games, watching Alabama win national championships, SEC championships, compete in the Iron Bowl. Those memories I will cherish forever, and those are memories that I'll try to pass down and share with my kid.
Oh yeah, you could also tell your kids about how you almost got ran over by Terry.
Yeah, Miss Terry Saban.
Miss
That's
Terry.
a story for another day. But
no, definitely I have memories. I have a few of the Shula, not many. With Grand and Papa, they were Thai pride. My grandparents, they were, used to be Tide Pride members,
Mm-hmm.
and so when I and
Tell them to
Rachel,
get that membership so they can key us in on who the next head coach is going to
I
be.
know it. But when me and my sister were little growing up, we were at ball games in the fall. About every home game we were about there going to games and all, and so I have great memories
Mhm.
of going. My favorite was probably favorite ball game I've been to was probably 2009, the Bama LSU,
Mhm.
where Julio made the catch and ran through with 72 yards
Yeah.
for the touchdown to seal that ball game and win it for us, and that helped us get to a national championship that year. But definitely great memories going to ball games with my grandparents, with my parents. Heck, you and I've been to
Yeah.
some Alabama football games. Probably my favorite Alabama game outside of the Bama LSU '09. I don't know if it was because that we just had at the time we didn't have nothing to play for because LSU had won earlier that morning. But last year when we played Ole Miss at Ole Miss, you and I and some other friends of ours were at that ball game and froze our tails. That is the coldest game I've ever been to. But no, it was definitely a blast. But I mean, definitely have a lot of memories and
Yeah.
fun times going to football games and watching this Nick Saban coach team. So definitely gonna miss that part of it.
Yeah. If you catch me looking at my phone, I'm, kind of just checking in on Twitter every once in a while, looking for updates, and of course checking in on the comments and things that y'all leave with us. But yeah, I mean, just looking back on the Saban era, I mean, it's been an incredible ride. You know, I look back on those memories and those times similar to, I guess, my grandparents looked at the Bear Bryant era, so because they always talk about, watching the TV or going in person to games at Legion Field and seeing the Bear roam the sidelines or roam the end zone during pregame warm-ups and the houndstooth hats and the Golden Flake Bear Bryant show and the different things like that, and just a legacy that he left Alabama. Nick Saban left a similar legacy, and that's what we'll talk about next.